Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a tool very important for Lean system called value stream mapping. So value stream mapping is important because it's the way to look at the value stream, right? So understand all the steps that you're doing to deliver the product to the customer, identify how much is waste and how little of that is actually value added. So that's the kind of usually the tool that companies use to find out how to implement lean, how to structure a 1 or 2 year implementation of a lean system. I worked with value stream map. I did many times in array of different companies, from food industry, automotive industry, service industries, whatever kind of sector that you guys imagine of. And then this is a tool that is very important. It seems easy, but it's not, and it has its own complication. And the idea is, okay, you follow the flow of the product, you walk the process, and see with your own eyes things and what are they happening, and you draw the information and the product flow. So it's different than a flow chart or the swim lane or spaghetti diagram. And because it is important to see the combination of information flow and production flow, because usually it's the information flow that create most of the waste. The overproduction and the transportation and the big waste in your system is created by the information that's coming from production control, for example, or logistics or supply chain or purchasing. So it's a way to connect those two and to really find a way to change completely the way that you plan and you execute your production in your plan. So it's more focused on the overview and the kind of a strategic way, and it's more focused on the information flow and how to reorganize the information flow. So how to understand the flow of products, how to identify the major waste, how to create the future state, which means how to change that information flow, plan those activities to be more linear without waste and all that. So there's 4 steps. One is select the product family. So you need to follow a group of products through the process steps. You draw the current state map, which is exactly what's happening on that day that you went there to measure. And then with this, you can design the future state, which is, okay, looking at the lean tools and principles and everything that we can add to reduce the waste. How to create this process again that is more a continuous flow and more a pull system, right? Basically, that's it. And then you have the implementation plan. Okay. There's a book called Learning to See, and that's one of our books that you have on your syllabus there. It's a very kind of a well-written book. It's easy to understand because it's based on a case, and actually the case that we're going to do in class I took from that book. So it has a step-by-step of explaining the case and then how to create the current state and future state using that case. Okay, so was what a value stream map looks like. So we have on the right upper part here the customer, and this is the symbol of the customer. It's like a manufacturing plant. You have the information here, and then here you have the production process. So these are the production steps. Every box here is one step. You have here the triangles are the inventory between the process steps. Here we have the customer in the upper left side, and in the middle here, you have the information flow getting in and getting out through production planning or logistics, supply chain can be also here. And in the bottom, you have a way to measure how good or how bad are you now, right? So you measure 2 things: the added value part and the and the total, right? And basically the percentage that you're not adding value there. So this is the classic value stream map. It was adapted to, for example, information process. So you may find other types of value stream map. Maybe some of you guys already done this a lot, but I would guess that most of you never seen it before. So that's why we're going to go slow in explaining every detail of that. Some definitions, some things that we're going to look at. One is C/O, which is a change over time. So we talked a little bit in probably in core operations management course. You guys had more of that. And it is the time between one batch and the next batch, right? So you're producing a product, and between that product and the next one, which is different, you have to, for example, set the temperature of your oven different. You have to take out the equipment and put another one. You have to adjust the height of something, or you have to adjust the software on the machine that will cut in a different way, or where you're going to cut is going to be a bigger tube or a big piece of wood, so you're going to adjust the distance of your saw there. So there's some adjustments you have to do because you're producing one item and now you have to produce the other one, which has different dimensions, for example. Cycle time, the time it takes from one product until the next one. Okay, so these are very important definitions that we're going to use in the value stream. You're doing one product, so the time that that product leaves the process until the next product leaves the process. So we're looking at the process, let's say someone assembling something, someone cutting something, or equipment, doing some machining, whatever it is, or a press, right? Pressing and molding some metal sheets, whatever it is. And then one product get out, you start your clock, the next product gets out, you stop your clock. So the time between products and without any waste, right? So the equipment is running, doesn't stop in the middle, it doesn't have any movement. It's the time that your process is doing the job. Lead time is the total time from the beginning to the end. So that's the time that takes for something to occur. So the total lead time is from raw materials getting into your front door until finished goods getting out of your shipping door in your plant, right? So going through all the steps and getting out. You have smaller lead times within the process as well, but that's the total lead time. Total processing time, that's the sum of all the processing times, so the add value times. So if I only look at the cuttings and the weldings and the drillings and the assemblies that I do, what would that be, right? What would that time be if I don't have any waste between my steps, if I can give directly to another one? And again, you can think that in a hospital environment or a healthcare environment as well, right? So you have the movement, you have the waste, you have the waiting times, but also have the processing times, their value-added times. And uptime is the time that your machine is running, whatever you're making it or available to run, what is the time that is running, right? So if it runs all the time, you don't have any stoppage, you don't have like a human being where you don't break, you have 100% uptime, but sometimes you have equipment that have, you know, they break and they leak and they have to change stuff. Then you have to stop it, call maintenance, come back and make that thing work. So very important here as a concept. Another important thing that we need to talk about is identifying a product family. So you do the value stream map of a product family. So you're following the steps of a type of a product. And here is a product process matrix, which here, let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different products that I produce in my plant. And I have 7 different steps that I do in my plant. So different equipment or even quality checks or steps that I do, whatever it is. And here put an X in each one that goes through that process step, right? So you can see that everybody goes to it once, C doesn't go to 2, but go to 3 instead. And then A goes to 4 and 5, B goes 4 and 5, but C goes 1, 3, 6, and 7. And then D goes to 1, 2, 5, and 6. E goes to 1, 2, and 6, right? So different, it's normal that companies have different products in their plants that go through different flows, right? And what we want to do is we're not going to look at everything because then we got to get confused with a bunch of information. We're going to select a few of them and then follow the products that go in the same path. So this will be one product family, A and B, okay? So this is a product family because they go through the same steps. So if I can, you know, arrange aside one part of my plan to do only step 1 and 2 and 4 and 5, I can dedicate to those products. And that's an important thing in lean system. You always wanted to dedicate things to do only one thing because then you can arrange them to do that very, very well. So in a lot of cases is reducing the variation and the flexibility of doing a bunch of different things because you want to do a few things very good. Kind of that's the idea. And then if you do most of the things very good, you can have some kind of mess. It's 20% of your production. That's fine if 80% runs really well, right? Instead of having 100% being a mess. So I have another product family, which is C, and I have a third product family, which is D, E, and F. So if I have only those products in my plant, I would dedicate spaces in my plant to do those things instead of doing everything everywhere, right? So that's what align with the customer perspective, right? So you're looking at the customer, what are the things, what are the products that I'm doing for these kind of customers and these kind of customers and these kind of customers, and then dividing that. And sometimes companies go as far as having a manager per value stream. Instead of having a manager by department, I have managers that look at families of products, which makes a lot of sense in many business. These are symbols of value streams, so I'm not going to look at this very detailed, but you can see there's a lot of symbols out there. Assembly, that's the process step, that's a plant, that's information, that's inventory here, truck, push arrow, pull, FIFO, we're going to see what that is, and have others here for information flow, so manual flow, automatic flow. This is not only electronic, but automatic. And other things that we're going to see later on. So this is intro for value stream map. Next video, we're going to see Acme stamping value stream map example. That's the one from the book. I'm going to go step by step and draw the value stream for you.